Whoa, YouTube drama, everybody. What's going on, everybody? My name is House of Julia, and I decided, since I have so many subscribers on this channel, so many subscribers, such a big viewer base, that I would make the video on this channel, just because of, how many people just absolutely love my channel, right? A couple weeks ago, I made a video on High Def Dan, where it literally just titled Why I Left, where I had started explaining why I left, and at one point, I had stated that I had said some things on the mountain, and I wasn't invited to Tom's house, and they had every right not to invite me. And I said that they used that to manipulate me. And oh boy, let me tell you, they made their own video, and they responded.
Okay, so I have a question for you, Mike. Do you feel like I manipulated that story in any way? Do you feel like I lied about what he said about you and Aaron, especially knowing that Matt also admitted that he said these things on the trip?
I don't believe you manipulated anything, to be completely honest.
I'll tell you, I find it quite funny that you guys said you didn't manipulate anything, where I have messages from Aaron, and I'll full admit right now that I didn't scroll up 4 or 5 months just to get screenshots from him, where he was informed that I had planned to hide these, or I was acting like it never happened and I never said it, which isn't the story. I straight up told Aaron if at any point he had asked me if I had said anything about him, that I would have said yes. But Aaron was under the impression that I had planned to hide everything.
No. And in fact, this isn't the first occurrence that he's posted about us. This is now the second indirect video he's posted about us. And I will admit that we've gotten into a ton of arguments that I may have started, but more often it was him starting them, trying to get a rise out of me. And I usually try to keep a cool head. I don't want to be the one to reply back.
To stop you right there, Mike, you said you try not to reply back. The thing is, you don't reply back 98% of the time. The argument is started by you. And, I'm usually part of those arguments, but it's more like 2% of the time that I actually start the arguments. And upon your request, I'm not going to bring up one that you thought was a little too personal. I'm going to bring up a couple of other instances to where you say you try to keep your cool, yet you left me sitting in a Walmart parking lot with my car on, wasting my gas, as you said the cashier inside the Walmart was taking a really long time. And we started to get suspicious, and then you got a video in our group chat of you running from the Walmart down a street with a 40-mile-an-hour speed limit, by the way, with no sidewalks. Running down that street because we didn't want to watch Rick and Morty. And we drove to Tom's house and you met us there, where you tried to physically kick Aaron because he didn't want to watch Rick and Morty, which caused everybody to go home. You have that instance, and you have the instance to where everybody came over, and at the time, she was my girlfriend. She came over. And you pulled a hammer on them because of a little argument, and you forced everyone to leave. You pulled a hammer on people, Mike. You can't say that I would try to get a rise out of you or anything. Your temper is thinner than human hair. Somebody breathing the wrong way could have gotten you pissed off.
You know, what he's doing, it's slander. It's slander of me. It's slander of you. There's one part in here that I think involves Aaron that he lied about.
I just stated that there's something that I lied about involving Aaron. I just want to go on the record and say what I believe it is, and I think you guys are referring to the story I like to tell, or I used to tell, about how I physically picked Aaron up to help him over a rock face. That's not false. That's not false at all. I will tell you the exact story. I will tell everybody this story. We're climbing Mount Monadnock, and we got to a point in the mountain where you had two choices. You could either sit and slide backwards up a rock face like that, or you could go to the left and climb up it seemed like a slightly more difficult rock face. We chose that just because we didn't want to get any more wet than we already were. And I had gotten up, and Matt had gotten up, and Tom and Mike had gotten up it, and Aaron didn't. And Matt had called me back and said, Dan, something's up with Aaron. And I went back over and I said, are you okay, Aaron? He wasn't verbal. He just wasn't responding. And at that point, I'm like, I'm going to help you, okay? And he started to talk. And I guided him, and he held onto the rocks, and at that point, he just said, I don't think I can do this. And I said, you have to do this, Aaron. and he started hyperventilating and screaming, no, 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 I don't want to go, I want to go home, I want to go back down the mountain. I didn't know what to do, so I got up and I looked at Tom, who was way off in the distance, and I said, hey Tom, Aaron's having a panic attack, he wants to get back down the mountain. And Tom's response was, tell him to get his fucking ass up here. Which, to be fair, it's straight, it's to the point, it's blunt. But I didn't think that would have been the appropriate response at the time for that. So I didn't say that to Aaron, and I said, Aaron, I don't know what you want me to do. Nobody wants to go back down the mountain. And Aaron said, no, I'm not going to ruin this for you. And I grabbed him by the arm and I helped him up the rock face, and he came to another rock face where he couldn't get. There was a gap in the middle, a 3-4 foot drop, which isn't bad, but when it's on slippery rocks, that hurts. So I grabbed his backpack. He's not a heavy person. I grabbed his backpack and I lifted him and I tossed him over to the other side of the rock. That's exactly what happened. So I'm trying to figure out what they think I lied about in this instance, because there's nothing.
At this point right here, he said, I told them that no matter what people say about them, I just want to stop you right there. No matter what people say about them, however, he was saying stuff about everybody on the trip, so. Well, not everybody, but rather you and Aaron specifically.
Thing is, Tom's completely right. I did say stuff about Mike and Aaron, and I can never take it back. However, there are, it was 2 instances. It was not the entire trip that I had said things about them, and I'm gonna like to point out how you say I said stuff about them the entire trip, but you were the first one to agree with me on the time when I said we shouldn't have brought them, or we would have made it to the top without them. I think that's what it was. We would have made it to the top without them. Well, you were the first one to agree, and every single day after that we hung out, you brought that up. You brought we would have made it without them. You brought that up. I was done. I would agree with you when you said it, but you would be the one who would bring it up every day after the fact. But I also said something after we got back down the mountain, before we got into my car. But I'm going to let Mike go ahead and read that for you guys.
And on that day, in the worst weather conditions possible for April, in southern New Hampshire, they made it up almost an entire mountain. Ill-prepared, underdressed, in pain, soaking wet, and that I have never been more proud of people in my entire life. This is what happened.
Now, at one point, I said, I'm sick and tired of babying them up the mountain, which was just out of pure stress, and I didn't mean it. I had also said that we would have made it to the top without them, which I did not mean. It was out of stress. And they used that against me.
Well, I'm going to respond to this. Yeah, we used it against you, but, you know, with good reason. Just because it was said out of stress, that doesn't really excuse it. You know, it shouldn't be said regardless. You know, there's just no excuse for it.
You know, I can't combat that. You're completely right. There's no excuse for it. Stress is not an excuse. I said it. It happened. I shouldn't have. My mind told me to say it anyways, and I did. And now I'm paying the price for it. And no matter how much I've apologized, it won't make up for it. I said those things I shouldn't have. You have me here, Tom. You won this round. You've proven your point with that segment, because I agree with you, and I have agreed with you from day one. So, well played.
All right, so moving on. All right, so Mike, you want to read this next part?
Sure. And I lost a good portion of my friends because of it. And there's nothing I can do to get them back, and it kills me every single day. And it affected me so much that I just didn't want to upload to YouTube anymore. I didn't want to stream.
I'll stop you right there. At this point, he says, I just sat there every day thinking about the fact that a good amount of people that I became friends with in high school now hate me. Now he uses the word hate, and I would not say that I hate them. I can't speak for Mike. I can't speak for Aaron or Matt. I don't hate Dan. More or less, I hate his actions. I hate the things that he's been doing. I don't appreciate the fact that he made this video about it.
I'll point out that Tom said he doesn't appreciate that I made this video about us. Thing is, this video isn't about you. The video is called Why I Left. It's not called My Beef with Tom or My Beef with Mike. I thought it best to explain everything. Why I left. Every reason. Everything that had factored into me mentally not being able to do YouTube or being able to live stream. You guys happen to be a part of it. And I'm not saying that you were a part of it sadistically. I'm just saying, overall, what happened on Mount Monadnock was one of the events that mentally put me in a state where I didn't want to do YouTube or I didn't want to do Twitch. And I thought it best to explain that because as I've said before, this video I wanted to explain everything. But you are labeling this video as something it's not. You are labeling this video as directly me explaining why I left was because of you guys, and it was not. It's a culmination of events both before that and after that caused me to not want to do YouTube. If I don't explain everything, people are going to be questioned. I didn't intend for the longest segment of this video to be directed towards you guys. It just happened that way. Because it was the biggest knockdown of 2018 for me was losing my friend group. And I figured I would explain it and explain to people that that's exactly what happened. And that's one of the reasons I wasn't doing well. That's all it is.
Dan says that I now talk to him, but there's no way I can ever get the other two friends back, which not only is awful for me, but it's awful for my best friend, who I've been best friends with for 13 years now, that he's now forced. Do you want to hang out with this friend group or me? And he always has to make that choice, and no matter what he does, he leaves somebody not doing anything that night, and it's god-awful. And I can't begin to understand what's going through his mind. I can barely understand what's going through my mind. Alright, so in this, I just want to say, you're right. You can barely understand what's going through, Matt's mind. I don't know what he's thinking either, but what I can say is, yes, he does have to make the choice whether or not he wants to hang out with you or with us.
I just want to point out that what Tom said and now what I had said in my original video are both wrong. Because Tom and Mike, you both know Matt's my best friend and I'm Matt's best friend. He tells me anything. I tell him anything. And I have text conversations with him that I've been asked not to show. But I do have texts that I can show. And I'm going to say that he texts me, and he always is saying, do you want to hang out? Because Tom's trying to convince Mike to let me in his house. Tom's trying to convince Mike to want me at his house. And later at that night, I'll get texts like this one, to where you guys just didn't tell him anything, and you went to his house anyways, and you left him not doing anything. He calls me 3 or 4 times a day asking to hang out because he doesn't get to hang out with you guys. Because you don't tell him anything. So, at this point, he doesn't really have a choice. He hangs out with me and my friend group. Well, you guys hang out with your friend group because you don't tell him anything.
Okay, so this last part here, I kind of questioned whether or not I wanted to put it in the video because it was kind of a sensitive issue. But again, like everything else that me and him have talked about in this video, it needs to be addressed, and I hate to do it, but I have to. And I played the clip. I'm gonna reread what he said again, and we're gonna discuss it. And yeah, so just get it over with. He said, and I was doing all right. I started to get better. Then my grandma was put into the hospital, and she passed away. Now I don't even know what to do. And, that's not much there, but in the past, during one of our previous, conflicts, he did something similar to this where he didn't mention his grandmother, but he had mentioned his dog. His dog had recently passed away. And I have some screenshots here on Mike's phone that I'm gonna show to you guys to just give you a decent idea of what was said and why it was said. Me personally, and I feel like Mike will agree with me on this, it was obviously said as a way to gain sympathy.
This specific hit really hard. For you to think that I would use the death of a family member or the loss of a pet as a means to gain sympathy from you or from my audience is absolutely disgusting. I've said it before and I'll say it now. I am 20 years old. I am almost 21. I don't seek sympathy. If I say, oh, my dog passed away, and somebody says, hey, guess what, buddy? I don't give a shit. Okay, they don't give a shit. Not their dog that passed away, it's mine. It's not their family member that passed away, it's mine. I understand if you don't care. I'm not gonna go around sitting around and going, my family member died, my dog died, and expect people to be like, oh, dude, that sucks, I'm sorry. Sorry to hear it, man. Do you need help? Tell me. I don't care. People die. Dogs die. It happens. Then, okay, fair enough. You're not wrong. What he was referring to with my dog dying is I had told them at this point, because this is when our beef had started, and I had said, I have one physical memory left of my dog. This was before her play cat conference came in and her ink conference came in. I have one physical memory left of my dog. I'm willing to put that on the line in order for me to be a better person. Because one thing I always have, I'll always have memories of my dog, and I'll see my dog again. When I go over that Rainbow Bridge to Greenville, I will see my dog again. I will never have friends like these two right here, like I had with them. Some of the best times of my entire life were spent at Michael's house, or outside of Tom's house. And you're gonna sit there and tell me that I'm whining and crying, hoping people are gonna feel sorry for me. I don't give a shit if you feel sorry for me or not. And to accuse me of hoping somebody will feel sorry for me in order for me to become friends with somebody or my viewers to like my video is heinous, and it is awful in every single definition of the word. And it's you start to question what goes through somebody's mind when they want to put something like that in a video. To accuse somebody like me of trying to get brownie points, trying to get sympathy points with someone, because that's not me. People know me. I uploaded a video, I titled it Why I Left. I wanted to explain everything. And guess what? I explained everything.
Alright, so yeah, that's really a wrap. I really enjoyed making this video. I'd like to make more like it in the future.
This isn't really a critique of what he had to say. I just want to wholeheartedly agree with him. I really did enjoy making this video, Tom. I'm glad you enjoyed making yours. I hope that this video, I hope you make another so I can make another, and I hope this sparks something. Whether it be us talking to each other again, or just us making videos back and forth consistently to start something. Maybe I really did enjoy making this video. I came into this video thinking this YouTube beef would have me all completely pissed off the entire video, but as I edited this video and the files went corrupt and I had to edit it again, that it's fun. And I love YouTube beef. I love to have these debates on YouTube, and I hope you enjoyed having them too. In the end, it turned out doing what you're doing now, music and vlogs, turned out to be what you were meant for on this platform, and I'm immensely proud of you to see 26,000 people subscribe to your channel, and you're just gonna keep going from there with every video you upload. So keep on keeping on, and congrats on where you are. As for you, Mike, it really has been a long time since I looked at your channel, and I don't mean to not look at it. It's just other things get in the way. I am gonna keep looking at it, and while we may not talk now, I want you to know that you could, at any point, a computer issue, help fixing a computer, or help getting a computer to put you back into doing gaming with Mike or better video editing, just let me know. I'll always be happy to help you. Before our beef and I had looked at your channel before our beef, and you were doing well. You are doing well for yourself, and I hope you keep on going on the path that you're going right now. And to the both of you, I hope that something can come from this, that we can end this stupid beef that's just hanging over my head, and probably hanging over your head right now since you just made this video. I just want that over. I don't know if you guys want that over, but I just want to see you guys and say those are my friends. That's what I want again. I wish you guys the best in all of your future endeavors. And now, as for my viewers, I hope you enjoyed this. This is completely different than any other video that I normally make. I usually would put videos like this on my vlog channel on High Def Dan, but I figured I would do it here if I'm going to have any chance of competing with the viewer base of After Dark music. Which I know I don't have any chance to compete with that. He dwarfs me when it comes to that, and for good reason. He's good at what he does. But I want to thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. It's probably going to be about 20 minutes. So I want to thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart for taking the time to sit through that. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm going to be doing more Mountain Blade Warband streams, Mountain Blade videos, maybe PUBG videos, and Civ 5, whatever I can film. I'm going to be bringing to you guys. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.